Welcome everyone. Today I want to share a new episode and we will discuss on the future of work. So, can you hear me? Carlos, can you hear me? Nina, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I directly want to start our sessions because already we are in online. So, my first question for you: how will AI and automation impact job displacement and creation across various industries? Carlos, what do you want to discuss about that? Carlos, can you respond this question? How will AI and automation impact job displacement and creation across various industries?
Oh, can you repeat the question? You still sound very low.
Can you hear me? Yeah, my first question for Carlos, how will AI and automation impact job displacement and creation across various industries?
I would say so. What I would say in that regards is that AI, in a way, as mentioned probably many times in many discussions, is simply the idea that AI is really good at data. It's really good at being able to parse through data, and it's really good at being able to do some action with that data. So a lot of the job displacement we'll probably see is a lot in the data industry. We might see it a lot in automating like software engineering, which is what I am doing. You'll see it a lot where you can just ask a lot of things like ChatGPT or write this code for me and it'll give you code. And also you can think about it as whether you talk about AI art or whether you're talking about maybe asking ChatGPT or any other online models about help with the business or help with statistics, those things. When we're talking about AI and job displacement, we can see a lot of the industries I mentioned are the ones that I would see are mostly affected by it. And what we're going to see is we're going to see this gap of people who specialize in those things. All of a sudden, their jobs are able to be automated. So that's kind of the issues and what we're going to see. And probably some of the industries, there are probably some I'm missing, but that'd be a good amount of the industries that we'll probably see affected by this.
Thank you. Kwa, what you want to discuss about this question? Kwa, can you respond?
Can you repeat the question again, Dr. Sarip?
How will AI and automation impact job displacement and creation across various industries?
I would say that right now, our previous colleague say, the heaviest impact would be in the field of software development, because at the moment you can easily go on GitHub and using a tool called Copilot, and it can basically your pair programming. It can help you write any code as long as you know what it is right. Same with GPT and many other models that on the right now. They can also helping you write code. And another field would be, so let's say in traditional writing, like within book or novel, some AI can be trained to be very creative. That it can help you write a full novel, for example, or it can help you write a poem if you want you work in anything related to that. Yeah, so writer and software developer are the one will be heavily impacted. with the rise of AI.
Thank you. Neha, what you want to discuss about these questions? How will AI and automation impact job displacement and creation across various industries?
Yeah. So AI will definitely will replace a lot of job right now. I can see AI and automation. I can see in like manufacturing and production. Like automated system can replace manual labor, and then transportation. We have autonomous vehicle right now, and then driver will be laid off for that matter. We have the field like customer service. There's already a chatbot and AI driven customer support system. Um, Anything else? But at the same time, the we can also have the benefit created by AI, like it can create job, like new job related to AI, can can become um, the opportunity in tech and related field. It can grow our economy, and it can also increase productivity. Yeah.
Thank you. Sian, what you want to discuss, and can you please introduce yourself? We have our two new friends, Sian and Oliver. They are brothers. So, can you introduce yourself and discuss about this question? Sian.
Yeah, of course. I'm Sean. I am a recent engineer here at Solar Skyways, working alongside my brother as interns. And to answer the question about displacement as AI rises, I think a very important topic that needs to be covered a little more is how AI really takes over these menial tasks and beginner jobs that would normally go to junior programmers and developers. And so a lot of junior level jobs will be displaced because of AI, because seniors who have the specific knowledge used to then tweak these AIs, which will be a lot more valuable having the specific knowledge. But if you have just general knowledge, that's something that AI can easily cover. And so I feel like these entry level jobs into these fields will be a lot more hard to come across as the AI rises.
Thank you. Oliver, can you introduce yourself and what you want to discuss about this question?
Oh yeah, hello. I am Oliver Weber. I'm an engineering intern here as well, working with my brother. So something I think about AI is that Sean's definitely right. It probably eliminates a lot of the lower level jobs, especially in the software field. So a lot of lower end jobs for software engineers are going to be taken over by AI because they don't need anyone to do that busy work anymore. But I also think it's going to create a lot of jobs for managing AI and like finding which AI is right for like which company. So I think that's very useful. It can also be used as a tool for like junior developers to help them get started on their developing journey and then eventually become more professional and suited for the job market.
Excellent. My next question for Carlos, like how can organization ensure ethical AI practice and address bias in AI system?
I would say to answer that question, a lot of it is involved in the very heart of AI. So a good way to describe it is AI in its foundations has models where you train on data, and then the AI can see patterns, maybe create forecasting, use it in those ways. And so as a result, you have lots of data thrown into the model. So a lot of the issues with AI you might see, whether it might be with the AI art where people feel that their artwork is stolen, or whether we're talking, I think what my colleagues have talked about in the past, where AI sometimes, if you feed it data, let's say specifically with US culture in mind, now you have something that's just going to spread US culture and ignore other cultures. And then back to the AI art, there's a lot of issues with that. You can use AI to steal copyright material, whatnot. I think the only, at least from my opinion, the only thing I think companies and organizations can do to ensure ethical AI practices is maybe to ensure where that data is coming from, seeing where it is, where we get permission for it, this and that. But I think it's that one is kind of hard to tackle. But what I would say, at least for biases, is simply put, we gain a lot from learning from a lot of cultures. And having just one culture being used as kind of the foundation of AI is bad. So I think it'll just be more a matter of these organizations being able to get from different perspectives and give it to the AI so the AI can be able to see things not just from one point of view, but from multiple.
Excellent. Mr. Kwa, what you want to discuss about ethical AI practice and address bias in AI system? Okay.
Yeah, so AI technology, I mean, if we there are potential risks associated with AI, such as privacy, security, and misinformation. So privacy, we can concern about if we share private information with, let's say, ChatGPT. Can we ensure that the what we share will not go into the data set that will then be used to train the AI model? And also security is like we need to be sure that the AI model cannot retain any personal information that we sharing with the model. And another thing is misinformation. So I'm going to continue on what Carlos said earlier. So for an AI model to be too biased toward a certain country, it can only speak about that country accurately. But for its own interpretation of all the countries around the world, it might lead to some bias or even outright misinformation. So when we develop AI, we need to be sure that the data set is as diverse as possible. Need to cover every other country and viewpoint. Just to ensure that the AI remain neutral, it will become our helper, not someone that would misdirect us.
Thank you, Niha. What you want to discuss about ethical AI practice? Can you unmute, please?
Yeah, so a lot of idea that my two colleagues already mentioned. I just want to add to that. In terms of government, I think we should have maybe have regulation on AI, and then in terms of organization and company, maybe we should do continuously monitoring and evaluating the AI model.
Thank you. Sian, Oliver, who want to respond? Shane?
No, but actually, I
Oliver?
had some thoughts about that. So I think for the ethical part of AI, at least, it's exactly the same as in humans, where it just has to be trained on multiple viewpoints, as was stated earlier. And depending on who creates the AI model, that's what's going to be reflected in the responses that the AI gives. So I think that it would definitely be wise to have like a AI that's worked on from around the world, from people like all kinds of people, so that their perspectives will be included in the AI. So that way, it's not biased to one way or the other.
Thank you. Sean? Yep.
Yeah,
want to
and no, just not to repeat what four other colleagues have said, diversity, super important, just to ensure that there are no biases. And
Okay. Okay. Thank you. My next question for Carlos: what role will human AI collaborations play in the future workplace? And I know that you want to develop makerspace. So, do you think in your makerspace you can develop advanced AI, or it can be help for entrepreneurs?
I would say for the role of human AI collaboration, I think a lot of it would be, let's go back with software engineering since that's what I'm familiar with. At least with software engineering, you would be able to think of Copilot or GPT or any of these other models. You'd be able to think of it as kind of like having an assistant. So what we're going to see is a lot of people using these for software or for whatever their industry is to be able to help. But at the same time, I think going back to what the previous question is about misinformation, I think we'll just have to be careful about what it's telling us. As let's say someone like me who's done a lot of software, I'll be able to use an AI model and maybe sometimes it might give me the wrong information and I'll be able to use that and know, okay, this is the wrong. Let's see what we can get out of it. So I think that's where we're going to see a lot. It's going to be like having an assistant to help you out, but I think there's going to be a lot of caveats and things that come with that relationship that I think I'm I can't say I will know the scope, but I'm sure that it might go beyond just misinformation or just beyond giving wrong information while you're using it to help you in your job.
Thank you. Koa, what do you want to discuss about this question? What role will human AI collaboration play in the future workplace?
Yeah, so my viewpoint is that in the future, we can see that there are going to be a lot of collaboration between AI and us, especially in, so let's say you can be an artist. So let's talk about a stable diffusion model, for example. So let's say you're an artist, you are really good at sketching the outline of your character, and the stable diffusion AI can help you filling in. It could be add more detail, it could add more color, creating variant, just so that you can take the suggestion and improve your drawing, for example. The same concept can be used in design. You could sketch an outline of a car, and the stable diffusion can help you fill in the blank. It can tell you, okay, this is how your dream car would look like, for example, this is the one that you are designing. So the same in, let's say, in research, you could ask the AI a certain question. So, for example, you got a data set that you need to analyze, and you already run through your analysis once. You can run it again through the AI just to confirm the result. Or the AI might spot something that you incoherent in your analysis method, it can let you know. So that those are some of the examples that we can collaborate effectively with the AI.
Thank you. Sean, what do you want to discuss about human AI collaborations?
I think, as my previous two colleagues have mentioned, it's going to be a perfect assistant for basically virtually any job that you can think of, whether it be lawyers summarizing laws and just the whole books of text, teachers planning lessons, students in college figuring out their schedules, or even making resumes to apply for jobs. This is how human and AI collaboration will affect future workplaces and just that kind of workflow.
Thank you. Niha.
Yeah, I just want to talk about my specific experience with AI. So I do design a lot, and I think AI really helpful in a matter. So all we need is just make a prompt, and then they will give us a bunch of design options, and then we can pick one and then keep refining it until we can get to the final products. So
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Oliver.
Hello, yes. So I think that human AI collaboration in the workplace will be very prevalent in like the coming years, especially because for a few main reasons. Number one being that it can fulfill a lot of tedious research that would have otherwise had to be done manually. So, for example, if you wanted to find like the top 5 problems in a field, you could ask AI what are the top 5 problems, and it would give it to you instead of having to comb through the internet to find the results that you want. The only problem with that is that the AI might be inaccurate, but I feel like that can be fixed in the future. Something else that I was thinking about is that if you're trying to learn something, there's, I feel like, 4 layers. It's like you can brute force it, you can search it up on the internet, and then I feel like using an AI to help teach you, or like make a program that will teach you, like a study guide or like there's a schedule to teach you, that would be better than even just looking up on the internet. And then of course, I think that human interaction and getting like a real teacher would definitely be the best way to learn or to solve problems.
Thank you. Carlos, my next questions to you. How will AI-driven change in the economic affect work-life balance and employee well-being?
I'll say for that, where I can start with when it comes to whether work-life balance or well-being, I think it's mostly just going to be in one aspect that I can see. What I can see is, so AI can be our assistant and can help us automate tasks or can help us refine something we're working on currently. I think a good way to think about it is if you have an assistant, you have a little more free time for yourself. So I believe, especially here in the Silicon Valley, maybe in other places in the US, you have this culture of just constantly working. And I think, especially from some of the people I know, it's easy to brag and say, oh, I worked this many hours, I worked this many hours, I worked really hard. So I think the way, since AI can help us like automate things, I think that it's possible if we use it correctly, we're able to maybe have more time for ourselves. Maybe we'll have less stress. Let's say your boss gives you like 5 tasks. Perhaps you can work on 2 and you can have the AI generate the other tasks. And then all you have to do instead of doing all 5 is maybe just refine and retune the ones you gave to AI. So I think that there's probably more examples, but I think that's like a good example of what we can be sure we'll see in the future.
Thank you, Koa.
Yeah, so for this question, I would say that for AI, it can help us in a lot in automation of tasks in the workplace. So for example, let's say that you got a task that you need to analyze through like, let's say 5 page of data, for example. So you can design a prompt to an AI, which you can feed your data through, and it can give you an answer probably within 10 seconds. So it improves your productivity a lot. And if you can do your work more efficient, that means you can find more time to enjoy yourself. For example, you could spend time discuss strategy with your coworker, like talk to a human being rather than just coding in front of a computer. You can offset that task to an AI model instead. Yeah, so it improves human to human interaction while doing many of the heavy labor work for us. So that's how I see it can help people have a better mental health and enjoy life better during the work hour.
Thank you. Mr. Sean. So,
Yeah, I definitely agree with Kwa about the human-to-human interaction part and how AI will improve that, especially because I know a lot of specific examples of people writing emails and then them wanting to be a little politer and then using ChatGPT to then make that politer. And so it saves HR probably a bunch of work when you write polite emails to your fellow coworkers and you just make friendlier interactions. And then also outside of work, you can use AI and chat-generated prompts to then give you ideas of what you want to do, maybe for a new hobby or stuff like that. So definitely would increase employee well-being. I can see that happening.
thank you. Neha.
Yeah, I just want to say AI can help to increase efficiency and productivity. So let's say you have a team and then there's a project that you guys need to work on. We can use AI to break that project down into a smaller task and then have AI to make a task plan, make a schedule so all the team can contribute fairly to the project.
Thank you. Oliver.
Yes, I actually have a bit to say about this because for like an AI economy for like the work-life balance of people, I think having an AI would be very, very like useful because it would give you a fresh perspective especially in terms of like abuse by employers. Like if your employer, you feel like you're not being paid enough, you can ask an AI like, I'm being paid this much for doing these tasks, and I'm being treated this way. Is this fair, or should I try to seek advice? And they can also tell you if like the situation that you're in is legal or not. Of course, then the AI would have to be unbiased and like not by the actual workplace. But I think it would be actually very helpful for reducing those kinds of situations that people are in. And I know it's like a really tough situation to be in. And as well as that, I agree with all the other statements that have been said prior with finding new hobbies, scheduling, and just like making life easier in general. And I hope that with AI, good like the cost of goods will be cheaper instead of, because there will be less labor required.
Thank you. Mr. Carlos, my last question for this round. What skill will be essential for workers to thrive in an AI-enhanced economy, and what's your closing remarks for today?
I think for that, I want to say that despite us mentioning how AI will make our jobs easier or make our lives easier, or we'll have like a tool to help us with scheduling, I still think that with AI, we would still need skills like time management. Let's say for work, right? And you have an AI to automate some of your tasks. I think it'd still be on you, the person, to see priorities and still be able to think about, okay, I have these tasks and I can have AI offset maybe the hard ones, reduce the time, and I can work on the smaller ones. So I think time management will still be a very essential skill. I think another essential skill will be, especially at least early on this state, will just be critical thinking. I think right now, although it will change and probably advance really quick, at least for now, whatever the AI gives you, you still have to be able to parse what it's saying and be able to make decisions on that. So critical thinking will be key, at least especially for now. Let's say an AI gives you bad code, or an AI maybe when you're asking it to help you with an essay or something and it needs these things, it'll forget to add those things. So it's just more of just being a critical thinking and making sure that what it's giving you is good, and then being able to build off of that. And also just making sure that you're still paying attention. I think it might be get it a little bit too easy, especially with AI, to maybe forget stuff, or it'd be easy to copy and paste. So I think a skill we still need to do is still be alert and attentive in those circumstances.
Thank you. Koa, what's your closing remarks and what is your response about this? What skill will be essential for workers to thrive in an AI-enhanced economy?
Yeah, so for what I think is that in an age of AI, the most essential skill for workers you have is communication. Because if you think a bit like at least in the software industry, in the past of software 1.0, everyone is a programmer. So if you want to communicate with another software developer, you either talk in technical terms or you write a code and you show to each other. But in the age of AI, it actually allows you to just use common language to communicate with the AI in order to produce results. So you can think a bit at from the point of view of a client that talking to an engineering team. The client has to use their communication skill to get the point across, just so the engineering team can understand what are the requirements and work on that requirement. So it's the same from when working with the AI, but this time the role is reversed. So let's say for us engineer, we need to improve our communication skill just so that we can explain our concept to the AI, just so it can give us the correct result we want. Yeah, so once again, I would say communication is a very important skill in the age of AI.
Thank you. Sean, what you want to respond on this question, and what's your closing remarks?
Yeah, I think for an essential skill, I think that all workers will have to, eventually adopt as AI becomes more commonplace in the workplace is a little bit of tech savviness, a little bit of computer science knowledge, maybe even programming language knowledge, to be able to then explain when something goes wrong or explain when something goes right, And as Kwa was saying, ChatGPT definitely helps when taking those technical terms and boiling them down into a general audience. But sometimes ChatGPT might not be enough, or maybe you need to then talk with the technical team directly without using AI. And so even just having a little bit of basic foundational knowledge of computer science would go a long way. And yeah, those would be my closing remarks.
Thank you. Neha?
Yeah, I just want to say I really agree with Carlos that we need a critical thinking skill so that we can evaluate all the information that AI gave us. Also, I say personally, I think I just need to improve my technical skill, any skill related to my major, so that when AI give me like multiple results, I can evaluate them and pick the best result for me.
Thank you. Oliver?
Yes. So for workers to thrive in an AI-enhanced economy, I think that all of the previous soft skills that we've already had to build up over the years are still going to be very prevalent. Like you're going to have to communicate with your coworkers, and you're going to have to use a little. You're actually going to have to use a little bit of creativity while using AI, because I don't think it can create brand new ideas. You're still going to have to think of those your own, and it'll just help flesh out those ideas. I also believe that the skills you learned in English class, such as like fact checking and like making sure something is ethical, making sure to check your sources, that's also going to be very important because AI has been known to hallucinate facts and evidence. But I think most of all, people need to know how AI works and its limitations, like what it can and can't do, when to use it, when not to use it, and to make sure that they're like not wasting their talent and are just relying on AI too much.
Thank you. This is an excellent discussions, and from these discussions we can understand the future of work in an AI enhanced economy, which is very much important. And already Mr. Carlos, Koa, and Neha, they join in World Talent Economic Forum as a fellow. I also want to invite Oliver and Sean. If you want, you can join. It's actually a global platform from around the world. People regularly joins, they discuss, and they go for open dialogue and research projects. So hopefully through this process we can develop new solution for around the world. Especially makerspace can be a very good solutions from our audience, those who are observing and those who are interested to collaborate with us for makerspace, they can. Those who want to invest in makerspace, they can. Also those who are very much interested about AI research, they can work with us. So we need to work together and minimize the gap in between developed nations and developing nations, and through this process we can enhance the capacity of global community. Thank you everyone for joining today's sessions. I request all of our audience, please share our content as much as possible with the government agency, corporations, and academia. Besides that, I request all of our speakers, you can share our content as much as possible. Thank you, bye-bye, and take care.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.